So I was saying that the firewall has 4 default zones. We have the trust zone. That's where you normally find your private network. We have the DMZ medium, where you find your firewalls and the data set in most cases. In a trust zone, where you find the internet, that public network. So a firewall is able to isolate networks of different security levels. Mark at that. Security levels. Meaning it wasn't as a security level. There's a local zone inside here that has 100% priority, meaning within there chances are low that traffic will be corrupted. But here chances are there, here chances are there, here chances are there. That's why these other ones have low percentages compared to the local zone inside here. So now the other functionality of a firewall, it can be able to implement access control. Access control, as I told you earlier on, that with a firewall, if we have a person outside there, a person is accessing internet, but would love or would want to access this server here or communicate to someone inside here, we can be able to implement access ACL rules here, access control. So that one person here under the internet can access this person here or this server here. That's what the other function that the firewall does. User identity authentication, implementing remote access. You should also find out that with firewalls, we can easily do VPNs. Yes, there are different types of VPNs, but you shall find out that with time. With the firewall, you can do NAT. NAT is network address translation. Now, network address translation, it happens so that with the addresses, IP addresses that were provided, they could get depleted. But network address translation can enable one private IP address based by multiple users. We can use port numbers and there are different ways of doing network address translation. You shall get to know that with time. That's now about the firewall. Now, wireless devices, the way to go. All those other things that I explained earlier, they're part. Currently, we are going so wireless, like everything has to be wireless. So you have to get to know the wireless devices. So here we have what we call a FAT AP. A FAT AP is independent. It works on its own. Like every function, you have to configure it so that it can provide the Wi-Fi signal. Now, there is a FIT AP that depends on an AC controller. This one can't work alone. It needs an access controller to manage it. A FAT AP is normally for small networks. You have like the way you see most people do, you have your own home, but you would want to get a router that to give you Wi-Fi. So that's like a good example of FAT AP. You configure that router to do for you everything that you can access the Wi-Fi. Now here, this FIT AP we normally use it in campus networks, like a huge network. So meaning we do all the configuration is here and we're able to manage all these 3 APs. They are called the FIT AP. Now, whatever I'm explaining is Huawei based. Take note of that. You may not find the same concepts of FAT AP, FIT AP in other vendors, because I'm not so sure with Cisco, with other vendors, Juniper, name it. So whatever I'm explaining, take note, it is Huawei vendor based. Yes. Don't find people discussing about access point and you bring this knowledge when they're talking about maybe Juniper. So take note of that. But otherwise, some concepts cut across. Yes. All right. Now we have covered the communication and networks. Now we are going to network types and topology types. Before I go to this, do you have any question from the above 15 slides that we have just completed? You can either use chat or unmute. You can ask anything, because this is our last session. Yeah, we were meant to start at exactly 6 p.m., but we started some minutes past 6. Otherwise, let me first allow Winnie any other suggestion. You can use chat or you can unmute and say something, or you're fine and we continue. Okay, it seems guys, the science means you guys are fine. Eh? So let's go to network types and topology types. So network types, we have LAN, local area network. That's, let me give an example of Chambogo, not Chambogo. A simple network, a small company, a local area network. Let's say any department, faculty, can be faculty of engineering only, or electrical department. A LAN is a simple network, consists of computers, servers, network division in the geographical area. Is normally several thousand square meters. It's typically a company's office network or a home network, your own home, if you are connected and you have computers and everything is accessing internet. That's your simple network. It's called a local area network. Now, MAN, if you would want to interconnect different LANs, you want the faculty of engineering to access the faculty of science. So that can be a good example of MAN. Or within a city, you're connecting your different companies that are having local area networks. So a group of that is called a MAN, metropolitan area network. Now, wide area network, that one is a combination of the MANs, different countries, let's say different cities, compared to Jinja, so that one can become like a wide area network. That a broader view, an example of a good wide area network is the internet, because internet interconnects different continents. Yes. Now here from this illustration, you can get to know the LAN, you can identify a LAN. They're showing you here a LAN of a college, a LAN of a college. You get. So these two form a MAN you're seeing here, MAN core of the Provincial Education Bureau. Now from the MAN, we are ending up with a wide area network, connecting this to this, connecting this to this. That's the concept of wide area network. Topology type C is a structured layout presented using transmission media, such as twisted pair optical fiber to interconnect devices. Yes. Now the different topology types C, let's get them on the next slide. But topology types, meaning how best can you connect your device into network devices? Is it a star tree form, a bus form? Let's check on the next slide. So we have a star network where one device is in the middle here. Back then we used to call it a hub. From hub we advanced to a switch. Take note of that. So this guy is everything here. Once he's off, these guys can't communicate. Now a bus, this one is common in the IT lab, computer labs, especially those of high school. Bus network topology. But should any problem happen to this main core, this main cable here, they will be out of effect. These guys can't communicate, these guys can't communicate. So ring network topology, this one is common is a common one, even in the IT labs you find it. But should anything happen here, these two can't talk, but still these two can talk to each other. Or depending on how we have configured, this guy can reach this guy through this other guy this side. That's a ring. It's a form of a ring. True, you can see it, but once anything happens to this high end, these two will be affected. Full mesh, now this one is fully redundant, but it's costly. A lot of connections are here. Now partial mesh, you can see it's partial compared to this. Combined network topology, you can see this has both tree, has a full mesh in it. Like, yeah, it's a combined network topology. Yes, that was it for network topology types. Let's go to network engineering, network engineers. What do we find there? Now, network engineering, what's network engineering? First of all, planning and designing feasible solutions based on network application requirements, computer network system standard specifications, and technology under the guidance of information system engineering methods and complete organizations, as well as integrating computer network hardware device software. So network engineering has a lot of things. We have hardware in there, we have software in there, we have network topologies there, you have to plan, design. So all that, once you combine that, you can become a network engineer. You get, but you have to, network engineers has to understand all of these. Because normally you can get a simple role of IT system support officer, But you should be able to have all these concepts. Equipment room, where can I find the equipment room? Yes. Media, wireless routing and switching. You have to have all these concepts. Storage, security, calculation is involved. And at the end of it, what sits or above all this is an application. That simple application you're using on your phone, it has all this behind there. You share files, so many storage concept is there, security, you know what those security constraints on your applications. Calculations are there, routing is happening, you're accessing the Wi-Fi, so many there's a wireless concept. You're communicating within your network, there's that switching concept. You get the logic. If it's a campus network, we also have an equipment room, we also have media. You get the guys. So that's the whole of concept, the overall concept about network engineering. You should have all this in mind. Yes. Now, basic qualification is what happens now after you covering your HCIA, you're satisfied. You should be able to have these other things: business etiquette, values, service awareness, information collection, learning competence. And normally, when you have that basic qualification, which is HCIA, normally you don't do a lot. Normally, you're working with professional guys. They tell you what to do. But because you have that knowledge, you can easily gather information, collect information. And when at that level, you should ensure you learn more. Because most companies employ people who have that learning competence. You have to learn more because associate level is never enough. That's what we are talking about here, basic qualification. Yeah, now once you go professional, you should have now more technical knowledge because of the experience you had at the basic level. Product knowledge, yeah, that router can't work, we need this and this. Engineering knowledge should be in there. Industrial knowledge, no, don't use those guys. Let's try this other router from maybe Cisco, router from Huawei. No, don't try that. Try this other device. You should be well versed with that. You get? Now, as you go, you should also be able to obtain these professional skills, team collaboration, because you can't work alone, however good you are. You have to collaborate, business management, because at times they will assign you to go and buy devices, network devices. But to be able to do business, they can't tell you that now that other server you can only get at 1 million and you just end at that. You should also inquire from other different sellers or suppliers. You should be able to presentation capability. Because normally when you're at the basic level here, they won't even ask you to present anything because you may shame them or disappoint them. But by the time you're professional, you're able to present. You're able to come up with a solution in case of a problem. You can also communicate in the right way at the right time. So this is just an overview telling you how the world outside there it should be. Don't think being technical is enough. I can configure. No, you should have that business knowledge also. That's why whichever course you're doing, normally there are those course units that are out of what your profession does. But you need that knowledge. Yes, network development path. These are the things you will go through and see. Because I've talked about most of them here. Let me see here. Protocol mechanisms. We have OSPF. We have spanning tree protocols. You should understand all of that, but we shall cover that, no worries. Certification, all these other certification exam. No, by the way, in your learning, you realize that there's a mock exam you will have to do later on to test your knowledge. But at the end, you will have to certify certification exam where you will apply for a voucher or assist you in that to receive a certificate that's recognized that you can even attach on your CV. Yeah, now this is the over. You can find this knowledge elsewhere. These are other technologies that are taught. Final AI, big data, IoT. Now these are guys of the cloud track. As we are here, Datacom. By the previous track called routing and switching. That was 2020. Then 2021 they changed that to Datacom after adding in other concepts. So guys, that's it basically. Here just simple knowledge that from HCIA you have to upgrade to HCIP to continue to HCIE. HCIE now you have become a consultant. They run to you in case of any challenge. These guys at this level. Now, simple question, which of the following network types has the highest reliability? Which of these? Who can answer? You can use a chat. This is a simple quiz. You can use a chat to answer this. Hey, guys, don't tell me you can't answer this. Which of the following types of network topology has the highest reliability? Which one do you think, you guys? And that's food for thought. A take-home quiz for you. And lastly, summary. This section describes the concepts of network communication, data communication network, the basic function of data communication networks to implement the blah, 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 blah. Man, we've covered all of that. Guys, I would love to end here. Let's call it a what? A first class day. If you have any other questions, feel free to inbox. Let me go back. Someone said C. Yeah, true. It is a follow mesh with reliability. Follow mesh. Thanks. That was who? Deo. Guys, let's end here. Let's end here. That was it. Thank you for attending. Yeah, see you on Monday. On Monday. Yeah, some guys we couldn't attend. They are just from a stress of one year project presentation. They feel like now. Anyways, no worries. The good thing we have recorded the class for my bosses. Guys, nice time. Let me end the class. All the best.